Hey there, I'm going to show you how to use Flipgrid if you were a teacher. So when you go to flipgrid.com, you'll see a screen that looks a lot like this. You'll have a few different choices. You'll see enter a join code. That's for students so that they can go to particular assignments or to your class. So you don't need to worry about that now. The sign up today, it's free. That's for students. Up here in the upper right hand corner, if you already have an account, you click Educator Login. But you're not going to do that yet because we have to make an account first. So you're going to click where it says Educator Sign Up. Click there. Now you have a choice. You can either sign in with Google or with Microsoft. Because our school email is Microsoft, we're going to select Microsoft. It's going to confirm your email address. So you want to click on that. And then it's going to take you into Flipgrid. Now, I already have classes set up on my page because I've been doing this before. But for you, yours may be blank. That's okay if it is. So in Flipgrid, your classes are your groups and your particular assignments are your topics. So you may see, like, these are my different topics. These are the different assignments I have posted. And the groups are the different classes that I have going. You may notice that I have some that are green and that are active, and you have some that are red that are hidden. The green classes I have set to active are the classes I'm currently teaching right now. The ones that are set to red and hidden are classes that I have taught in the past, but I may want to use material in there for future classes. So I just keep them hidden. So that way it's not live. So first thing you're going to want to do is create your first class. So you want to select create a group. You're going to name your group, whatever your class is called. So I can just call this a first hour, whatever subject you're teaching, just so you can keep track of things. And then it's going to assign you a join code. That join code is generally your last name and a series of 4 numbers, and that's a special identification code so that the kids in your class can join your class. There's a separate code for each assignment, but we'll get to that in just a minute. And then they're going to ask you, how do you want your students to join your class? Either with their school email or with a password that they set up. Highly recommend email because otherwise you're going to end up with a bunch of like TikTok Queen 128 and you don't want that. So we're going to select student email and click next. All right, so it's going to ask you the different ways you want your email to be set up for your students. So for me, I'm going to select at wcskids.net. So that way that's the ending of their email. So it's their student ID number at wcskids.net. Now, another way that you might want to put in there is the alternative way of getting students to log in if for whatever reason they're on a phone or tablet and things are not working, or if they're on an older computer and for whatever reason the settings aren't working properly. This is an alternative way to use the extension email our students have. So that is the @ then student.wcskids.net. So I'm going to have both of those in there so that regardless of what way my students try to get in, they can. You have the option of putting a password there if you want. I'm not going to take that option right now, but you might want to. I'm going to click next. Now it's going to ask me if I want to duplicate topics or assignments from before. Don't want to do that right now, so I'm going to ignore that and I'm going to click skip for now, but it's an option that you can do if you so choose. All right, so now it's going to give me some information about my group. I can copy this URL and I can share that with my students, and that's a good way for them to get in. Or you might want to embed your either assignment code or your class code directly into Schoology. We're going to save that for the next video. But if you need to, you have these different options of how you want to share your group. And then I'm going to click Go to Group. All right, so now that I'm in my class, I have some different ways I can customize it. I'm going to go to this little pencil over here to edit the group. Double check to make sure that the name of the class is the way I want it. Double check to make sure that I want my class set to private or public. want to set it to private because I want to protect students' identity and all that good stuff. Next, it's going to ask me my features. They want to ask me if I want it active or hidden. Definitely want it active. It's going to ask me if I want people following it. I selected no. Now personalize. If you have a particular image you want to identify your class in Flipgrid, go right ahead. You can drop an image or click browse to upload it from your device. Or they give you some of these prefabricated images, and some of these are pretty fun. I'm going to click the one, these little critters eating a giant blue donut, just for fun. All right, then I'm going to click update group because I have customized it the way I would like. All right, so the next thing, you are going to be able to post your particular assignments. Or if you click search topics, you can actually search other assignments other teachers have done if you're looking for ideas of something fun to do with your class. That's another option. I'm going to, for now, click add a topic. And now I'm going to be creating a new assignment for my class. So I'm just going to call this Flipgrid assignment number 1. And then here is where the instructions are. And I can type in my instructions. I can do all that fun stuff like bold and italics and underline. I can add a link here if I want, like an external link. Okay, or I can clear formatting. So right here, where it says prompt, I can pose a question or I can put my instructions in here. So let's say for my first assignment, I'm just going to ask a question. What did you do this summer that was fun and or memorable? All right, so I've got my particular question here, or I can put instructions, key in instructions. Now I also have a choice for how long I would like the student's response to be. It can be anything from 15 seconds all the way up through 10 minutes. So you've got a lot of possibilities. You can do presentations on Flipgrid. You can do just a quick short answer on Flipgrid. The sky's the limit. So for now, I'm going to select 1 minute, 30 seconds. Closed captions. You can also have closed captioning on this, which is kind of fun. You can select your language. The next one is super important, video moderation. I like to select this one. So that way my students can submit their assignments. I can view them first, and then if I want to share it out for the whole class to see, I can do that at that point, or I can have it set so I'm the only one that sees my students' assignments. Depends on what you want to do. So I'm going to enable that for sure. You can add other forms of media. You can record an actual video of you giving the instructions or sample like an example of what you want them to do in the assignment. Lots of possibilities with that. Like in my band and choir classes, a lot of times I'll record myself doing a demonstration of a particular instrument or a particular musical idea. So there's a lot of possibilities there. You can upload a video that already exists. You can link to a YouTube video or Vimeo. You can upload an image. You can add a Giphy, an emoji. You can link something from your Microsoft OneDrive. I mean, they've got Kahoots. There's all sorts of fun stuff in here. The only thing you really can't do is attach a document because this is a video-based program. But you know, there's ways you can work around that. You can take a screen capture of your document and talk through your document and have that on there. I mean, there's some workarounds if you really need to. Set custom topic access. You can enable that if you choose to. All right, so once I'm happy with it, I'm going to click create topic. And now it says all set. Now I'm going to X out of that for just a minute because I want to go back into my particular assignment, and there are actually additional features if you so choose to use them. So these are all the basic things that we included in our assignment up to this point where we have like access control. But now we also have the ability to add several more attachments if you want to. So that's really nice. You could also, like your topic status, if you want it set to frozen, where they can view the assignment but not submit videos, it's an option. And then we've got our active and hidden if we so choose. You can have it set up so that your assignment doesn't release until a particular date. That's super nice, very handy. And then other things, notifications, download and share, followers if you want them following. So here's your video features. So with every assignment that a student turns in, it's set automatically so that they record a video and then they have to take a selfie that identifies their video. But you can adjust that too so that they're just doing videos without the selfie or just the selfie without the video. And then you have all these other options. I mean, the way to customize your assignment, sky's the limit. And then you can also choose what kind of feedback you want to give your students. You can also attach a rubric, which is also super handy. All right, so once you have it the way you want it, you click Update Topic. And now it's all set. Another nice feature, any text that's in your assignment, the students can actually click on the Immersive Reader and it can read it to them. You can change the picture here so you have a particular picture. So when they, or even like a video. So when they go on the assignment, that's what greets them, which is also really nice. All right, so once you have your assignment all set, you can click the Share button. And that's going to give you this URL address, and you can share it that way. Or you have other ways to share as well. This particular code at the end after the backslash, that is a code that you might want to share with your students if you need to use alternative ways of them getting into Flipgrid. Also, if you go back to where it says discussion and you click on your you look at your class right here and you click where it says share at the name of your class. That's going to give you the URL address and after the backslash, your class code for your whole class. So you can share that with your students as needed. And that is how you create a particular topic in your Flipgrid. Stay tuned for the next video that will show you how to embed your particular assignment into Schoology so that your students can access it.